Right now.
New at noon, Bexar County Sheriff's deputies say they gave up the chase but have not given up the search for the man who fought with one of them.
The clash happened this morning outside a home in northeast Bexar County on Blue Lake Drive. That's near Lakeview and Wood Lake Parkway.
Katrina Weber reports the deputy used a taser on that man, but even that didn't stop him.
The fallout from a fight between a Bexar County deputy and a driver spilled out onto this neighborhood street. Others in uniform showed up in the 6800 block of Blue Lake to help out and figure out what happened. They say the deputy responded to a call after 7:30 this morning for a suspicious person in the driveway of a home. He says as soon as he approached, the man who was doing drugs in his car charged at him, then tried to force his way into the home. The deputy says he used his taser, but the suspect broke loose and with the prongs still in his back, drove off. Because of heavy morning traffic, the deputy decided not to chase him. Investigators say they're still not sure why the man was in the driveway of this home and whether he has any connection to this neighborhood. What they say they do know is his name, and once he is caught, he will face charges, including assault on a peace officer. That assaulted deputy was checked out for a cut on his head at the scene, then again at a hospital. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Also new at noon, San Antonio police trying to make some sense of a shooting after finding the victim on the south side. According to police, the victim was dropped off by an Uber driver this morning at a home on South Flores, not too far from I-10. The people who live there called for help. Officers say the victim was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound to the shoulder. It is not clear where he was shot or why. However, police say he'll be okay.
A VIA officer is hurt after an early morning struggle with the driver who had refused to stop. Around 2 this morning, the officer tried to pull over a driver in a BMW. This was near East Crockett and Chestnut Streets. That's just east of downtown. A sergeant with VIA Transit Police says instead of stopping, the driver entered the parking lot nearby at the Baldwin apartment building. The officer followed the vehicle, and at some point, police say the driver and officer got into a physical struggle. The suspect faces several charges, including driving while intoxicated and assaulting a peace officer.
This afternoon, Governor Greg Abbott will be in San Antonio. He's here for a roundtable discussion. Some of the topics include law enforcement issues and safety. Texas still reeling from that border policy change and added truck inspections that Abbott implemented. They cost Texans money and put a strain on the supply chain. It's a move that Abbott is now facing some backlash for. Just last week, DPS troopers were told to stop every commercial truck, check things like tire pressure, headlamps, and engines. Abbott says he ended those extra inspections after working out a deal with the governors in Mexico. After today's roundtable discussion, the governor is set to hold a press conference. You can live stream it on KSAT.com at around 3:30 this afternoon.
Meanwhile, Abbott's opponent in the race for governor, former Congressman Beto O'Rourke, continued his campaign in North Texas yesterday. He told people there he has a plan to lower property taxes that includes adding capacity for housing and having the state pay more into public education. O'Rourke said he would have to work with local and state leaders to make those ideas happen. He'll deliver remarks about that plan here in San Antonio tomorrow. There are 2 elections next month. On May 7th, voters can weigh in on 2 state congressional amendments as well as city bond proposals in San Antonio. Several local school districts have bond issues on the ballot, and there are some municipalities deciding on mayor and city council races. You can take a look at a sample ballot on KSAT.com. You can also find information on the runoff election for the March primaries that'll take place on May 24th.
Local leaders coming together today in an effort to push the Biden administration and the EPA to do something about pollution in our community. They are asking for the strongest possible protections to reduce pollution from the J.K. Spruce power plant.
We need to strengthen smog pollution standards and transition to clean energy to protect our communities and our planet. Over the next few months, the Biden-Harris administration and the EPA have an opportunity to improve mercury and air toxic standards and cross-state air pollution safeguards. Setting strong standards will protect our air, our health, and our earth.
That power plant is run by CPS Energy. During today's event, Councilwoman Sandoval says that the utility is working with City Council to end coal usage. CPS Energy previously shut down its Dealey coal plant at the end of 2018.
Tomorrow is Earth Day, and over 1 billion people take part in Earth Day activities every year. There are steps you can incorporate into your everyday routine that can contribute to safeguarding our planet. RJ Marquez has some tips for you.
Scientists have found more carbon dioxide in our atmosphere than ever before. 2/3 of extreme weather events in the last 20 years were influenced by humans. And the Living Planet reports wildlife populations have dropped by 60% in just 40 years. But what can we do to stop it?
I do recycle.
I think we should not recycle. We should try to produce less trash. I think we should kill the problem and not make a solution and create a problem.
Did you know that every minute in the shower, you're using 2 gallons of water?
I lather up and rinse off and get out.
But if you shorten your shower by a single minute, you can save 60 gallons of water per month. According to the EPA, passenger vehicles account for more than half of transportation-related greenhouse gas emissions produced. If walking or biking to work is not an option, try planting a tree. Experts say planting a tree won't completely offset the carbon emissions humans produce, but it can certainly set roots to getting cleaner air. And have you heard of plogging?
Become one with the trash.
It's the term used for picking up litter while jogging. Not only will you help keep the environment clean, but you can also get fit while doing so. Meat production is another major contributor of greenhouse gases. If you were to switch to one vegetarian meal just 1 day a week, you would save 133 gallons of water per meal. If everyone in the world participated in Meatless Mondays, that's equal to taking 240 million cars off the road every year. RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Interesting. Students at 10 San Antonio schools are going to have the chance to boost their education. Today, grant money was awarded to those schools so that they can put it towards STEM programs. The nonprofit SAFC U.S. awarded $49,000 in grants this morning. Both elementary and middle schools are going to benefit.
We want to help further their excitement and their potential careers in math and engineering and science, and really kind of encompassing all that is being able to have the right tools for that. So by providing these grants to these middle schoolers and elementary students, it's giving them the tools necessary. And it's not just one class and one classroom and it's done. These are grants that we provide that will help not just this year's students, but future students as well.
SAFC U.S. has been around for more than 25 years. Its YES grants are open to area public, private, and charter elementary, middle, and high schools, as well as nonprofits that have a youth focus.
Warm and humid next few days, but rain chances are back in the forecast, and they're looking better and better. We'll talk about that 7-day forecast coming up.
It is the water cooler talk today for sports fans, even those not big-time soccer fans. San Antonio FC took it right to Austin of the MLS. Larry Ramirez with more coming up in sports.
The U.S. set to provide more aid to Ukraine amid the ongoing war in that country. We'll have the latest on what we're giving them after the break.
Now to the latest on the war in Ukraine, where Russian President Vladimir Putin is declaring a successful victory in the battered city of Mariupol.
Putin's boast coming as President Biden is announcing another $800 million round of military aid to Ukraine. That brings the total amount of military assistance to Ukraine since the war began to $3 billion.
ABC's Justin Finch with more on the White House's latest plans.
In the ravaged city of Mariupol, gutted by Russian shelling, President Vladimir Putin declaring victory, calling the mission there a success. That's despite reports of Ukrainian forces and more than 1,000 civilians taking refuge inside Mariupol's Azovstal steelworks. The Ukrainian fighters there still defending it as conditions deteriorate. Putin directing Russian troops today to seal off that complex and calling again for those inside to surrender. An advisor to Ukraine's President Zelensky with a different view, saying Russian troops, having suffered huge losses, cannot capture the steel plant. Zelensky's persistent calls for more weapons being heard at the White House, where President Biden announced the U.S. is providing another $800 million round of military aid. That brings America's total weapons contribution to Ukraine to over $3 billion since the war began.
I'm announcing another $800 million to further augment Ukraine's ability to fight in the east, in the Donbas region. This package includes heavy artillery weapons, dozens of howitzers, and 144,000 rounds of ammunition to go with those howitzers. It also includes more tactical drones.
The White House also announcing its Uniting for Ukraine initiative, allowing U.S. citizens and groups to sponsor Ukrainian refugees seeking temporary refuge here in the U.S. That effort, as the UN now reports nearly 8 million Ukrainians are displaced from their homes. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Outside with live cam. Another day like this, all clouds. This morning, though, it was, I don't know, I got a little bit of rain. At least it felt like rain.
It felt like rain for me, too.
So that's nice.
Well, how do you put it? Not agriculturally significant?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's just so very light. We had some light showers move through just within the hour. Very light showers, some light mist and drizzle, too. We only picked up 1/100 of an inch of rain at the airport. The aquifer, it's down 0.3 of a foot, 646.7, still not in good shape. And as we look at the pollen count today, oak is high, 2,600. Mold's also high. They jumped up pecan and pine in the low category. We'll take a look at a hot weekend, but some relief on the way, I think, next week. That forecast is coming up.
I hope there's a little bit of moisture this week. It's just kind of a prelude to what's going to happen like next Monday.
You know, it's a feast or famine. Right now, it feels kind of like just appetizers.
Yeah, not enough, right? It's the light stuff adding up to maybe 1/100 of an inch at best. That's what we're seeing right now. That's what we'll see over the next couple of days. Of course, we alluded to Monday. Could we get some decent rain? I don't want to get everybody too excited about it because we're talking probably less than an inch of rain here, but some of the best rain chances we've had in a while. And you look at the drought monitor, situation just keeps getting worse. I know we show this every Thursday and it's sort of the same scenario, but the drought is building even more and it's starting to build in towards the San Antonio area even more. We'll zoom in here on South Texas, and this red color represents extreme drought, starting to basically take over Bexar County at this point. And then you have exceptional drought. This area is expanding into parts of the Winter Garden region, which they need rain desperately. We did get a little bit in Del Rio a couple days ago, so that was good. But even our eastern counties within a severe drought. And of course, as the saying goes, if we don't get any more rain, then it's just going to get worse. Here a look at some of the reservoir levels. Medina's at 20% full. It's down about 54 feet. Canyon's pretty steady level. It's at 97%. Choke at 40% and Amistad 44%. It's down 55 feet. So, yes, all the reservoirs and lakes could use some rain as well. We've had a little bit on the radar, some very light stuff coming through, and it did make some of the roads a little slick as some of the light drizzle and mist worked its way south to north across the city. Starting to see that lift north and away from San Antonio, but we still could see a few more sprinkles, a little bit of drizzle here over the next couple of hours. There's a look at the time lapse, and the cloud cover has been pretty consistent this morning. We haven't seen very many breaks. 74 degrees at the airport, still reporting some light drizzle there. Dew point is at 71. That is extremely thick air with southeasterly winds at about 10 miles per hour. You see how the cloud cover that is spreading across the area. We are starting to see some breaks, though, up in the hill country. And these clouds will break up a little bit more as we head into the afternoon. Think yesterday, same situation. Enough sun in the afternoon to boost those temperatures into the 80s and make it feel pretty warm and muggy outside. Right now, 74 at Randolph, 78 Stinson, 79 Pleasanton, 72 Canyon Lake, 76 in Comfort, 76 in Bandera. Also, it will be a windy day. Gusts anywhere from 20 to 25 out of the south and southeast. Dew points now in the 70s. That southeasterly wind has ushered in quite a bit of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. We have high pressure up to our east, and that just keeps that steady southeasterly flow going. And you look at the satellite picture, you can see where that moisture is based on the cloud cover, clouds stretching from San Antonio up to Dallas. We're going to turn our attention now to the Pacific Northwest. That is our next storm system, starting to gather some strength here as it moves inland, and then it will help develop a cold front that will slide south and east. So hot and humid on Saturday. This is Saturday at 5 o'clock. And then by late Sunday, I think we could start to see a few storms in the hill country. The weekend should be just fine all in all, but it's late Sunday night. And then during the day on Monday that our rain chances really jump up. 60% chance on Monday. Showers and a few storms possible. That may linger over into Tuesday morning as well. So an extended window there for some rain. We will certainly take it. How much rain could we see? These are just estimates here, but we're thinking anywhere from a half inch, maybe up to 3/4 of an inch out west, even a little bit more possible. And then as you work east, some slightly lower amounts. These are just estimates. As we get closer, we'll be able to get a better idea of exactly how much rain we can expect. 82 by 2 p.m., mostly cloudy, 84 at 3 o'clock. We're up to 85 by 6 p.m. That'll be our high temperature today, or 86 will be our high temperature. And then we'll see the numbers slowly cool tonight, but the temperature staying in the 70s, even around midnight, 74. And then tomorrow morning, we start off at 70. 88 tomorrow, 87 Saturday, 88 Sunday, basically the same forecast there. Morning clouds, afternoon sun. But it's Monday that we're focusing on now. 60% chance of rain, showers, few storms, and cooler. 77 for a high on Monday.
All around perfect day on Monday for us.
It's looking good.
Thank you.
Yep.
Outside of the World Cup, I don't think I've ever seen this many people in the newsroom this excited about soccer.
First thing I walked in this morning, around 8:30 or so, I heard you all talking about the SAFC match from last night. So yeah, it's pretty darn cool. They certainly are the talk of San Antonio and the surrounding area right now. That's because SAFC defeated MLS side Austin FC last night. What a victory. Plus, in arena football, the San Antonio Gunslingers are ready for their season opener coming up.
Austin's a fantastic team, and that was an extremely strong roster. Proud of our guys.
Cue up the post-match fireworks. Alan Marcina and SAFC beat MLS side Austin FC last night in Big Board Sports. San Antonio FC shocked Austin FC 2-1 last night in the third round of the U.S. Open Cup. 82nd minute, SAFC's down 1-0 when they finally break through. Justin Dillon finds Elliot Collier inside the goal area, and bang, he taps in the equalizer. Collier's fourth goal of the year across all competitions, and SAFC fans are going nuts. Okay, 96th minute now, same score. The cross goes to Mitchell Tainer, who heads it across the front of the net for Carter Manley, and he heads it in for the lead, 2-1, home side. And San Antonio FC from the USL Championship defeats MLS side Austin FC 2-1 in extra time, knocking them out of the U.S. Open Cup. SAFC has defeated an MLS club for the first time in club history.
That was incredible. We had worked so hard, 90 minutes to fight back, bring the game to overtime, and then another 15 players going down, cramping, just grinding through the end of the game. So it was incredible. It was an amazing experience, and the fans made it so much better. Just the energy, the atmosphere they created. It was, yeah.
SAFC goalkeeper Jordan Farr was brilliant in extra time, coming up with some key stops in the final second. So SAFC will play at the Houston Dynamo in the fourth round of the U.S. Open Cup. Date and time to be determined. But first, they'll travel to New Mexico United for an 8 p.m. match Saturday night. Turning to arena football, the San Antonio Gunslingers are getting ready for their season opener Saturday at the Freeman Coliseum. Led by head coach Fred Shaw, the Gunslingers playing the National Arena League and will open their second season to play at home with the Orlando Predators.
Those guys are going to come. They're going to be ready to play. And the thing about it, man, we're just going to have a good time. We're going to put on a show for our fans here in San Antonio, and hopefully we come out on top.
Gunslingers will host the Predators Saturday night at 7 at the Freeman Coliseum. Tickets are available through Ticketmaster. Spring football is about to come to an end for the Texas Longhorns. They practice again today, and then we'll cap off spring camp with the Orange-White game on Saturday. The big story out of Austin is the battle for QB1 involving Hudson Card and Ohio State transfer Quinn Ewers.
We make each other better. We bring the best out of each other, and just having competition is good. We're good friends, and we support each other, and it's a natural competition, but it's been good so far.
Hudson's a great quarterback, and we have a good relationship, and I'm excited to work with him and keep going in the spring.
Ewers out of South Lake Carroll High School said he grew up watching UT play and he wanted to be in that burnt orange. Plus, he came back to Texas to be closer to his family and his friends.
It's always interesting to hear him talk before they name the starter.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
Thanks, Larry.
I always wanted to know what had happened to my son, and there was not really answers.
It's an infant formula investigation. Today on the News at 5, a Rio Grande Valley mother sharing the story of her infant son's death from a bacterial infection A newborn, she says, was only ever fed a popular infant formula that months later got recalled. The government is now testing her batch of formula. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moore shares her heartbreaking story today on the News at 5.
We have some breaking news for you this afternoon. The capital murder trial of Jonathan Johnson has just unexpectedly ended. Johnson has decided to change his plea and take a plea deal. He'll spend the next 40 years behind bars.
This all happened in the last few minutes. Johnson charged in a 2019 double murder. It's been on trial all week long in the 226th District Court. The lead detective in the case was in the middle of testifying and about to go over the content that was found on Johnson's phone after he was arrested.
And that's when attorneys approached the bench and a break was called. Erica Hernandez will have more this afternoon on reaction and details of that plea deal.
Less people are applying for unemployment benefits in the U.S. The number of applications fell last week to its lowest level in more than 50 years. The Labor Department says jobless claims fell by 2,000 down to 184,000 last week. About 1.42 million Americans were collecting traditional unemployment benefits in the week of April 9th. That's the fewest since February 21st, 1970.
The FDA warning parents against relying on the results of non-invasive genetic prenatal screening tests. The agency says these tests should not be used conclusively to diagnose genetic abnormalities. The products use sample blood from a pregnant person to look for abnormalities in a fetus's chromosomes, but the FDA says the tests are not always reliable. According to the FDA, the tests could have false results. People could inappropriately use them, or the results could be just misinterpreted. The FDA advises the product should be used for screening purposes only and warned parents should not make critical health care decisions based on the tests alone.
Farmers apparently need to be on the lookout for potential hackers. That's according to a warning from the FBI. Officials say cyber criminals might go after agriculture cooperatives during planting and harvesting seasons, believing that they could be more vulnerable and willing to pay off that extortion. The FBI says 6 grain companies were targeted last fall. 2 others have been already attacked this year. In a public advisory, federal officials say a major disruption of grain production would impact the entire food chain. They're calling on farmers to take defensive measures against this potential threat.
Air quality in the U.S. is seeing a downward trend. That's according to the American Lung Association. It says the nation had a record high number of very unhealthy and hazardous days from 2018 to 2020. Pollution levels had fallen consistently for 23 years prior to that. Experts say pollution levels dropped for a time during the COVID-19 pandemic because people weren't commuting as much as usual. However, online shopping went up at the time, and the delivery of more products took a toll on air quality. California is seeing the most pollution, especially in the Bay Area.
Right now, there are wildfires raging across the southwest part of the country. In northern Arizona, more than 30 square miles are scorched. That fire more than tripling in size in just the last day. The tunnel wildfire outside of Flagstaff burning out of control, forcing nearly 800 people to leave their homes. The fire destroying more than 24 homes and structures there. And in New Mexico, several wildfires are burning across that state. One of them has now spread to 20,000 acres and is 0% contained. And in Colorado, a 17-acre fire now under control. However, those flames did destroy a lot of buildings.
People are still cleaning up after devastating floods in South Africa. But as ABC's Maggie Rulli explains, they don't have a lot of time before another round of rain moves in.
Yeah, people here are racing to prepare because they've seen what these floods are capable of. Just look up the hillside here. You can see the direct path a mudslide took. It slammed into this home, ripping it in half. Now, just a pile of rubble. We see things like a family's picture frame tangled with their lampshade and an uprooted tree. As one woman told us, this right here, it's a pile of people's memories. And up the street, that's just what we see, pile after pile. We've been here all morning and seen all the neighbors out sifting through this debris. They tell us they're terrified of what's next. They're trying to prepare. We've seen heavy machinery, truckloads of mud and debris evacuating this area because with more rains expected on Saturday, people say getting ready now could be a matter of life and death. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Durban, South Africa.
Looking outside with live cam, a misty, drizzly sort of morning for a lot of folks, but our eyes on the prize. Monday
is the day we've been watching so very closely. There are some decent chances for rain finally in the 7-day forecast, and we could get some quality rainfall. At least that's the hope at this point. I want to show you the radar right now. We do have some showers this morning. Now, these have been very, very light. We picked up 1/100 of an inch at the airport, and those showers have been tracking now into northern Bexar County and parts of Comal County. Don't expect to pick up much rain out of this, but it will make the roads a little bit wet for a brief period. We're also noticing a few more showers as you get down towards Livonia, those two lifting off to the north. Eventually, skies will clear this afternoon and we'll get some sun, much like yesterday. It's already 80 in Pleasanton, 80 in Hondo, 74 at the airport, 76 Kerrville. We've yet to see much sun here in Bexar County, so the temperatures are still kind of holding steady, if you will. 74 Helotes, 72 Bernie Stage. As you look at the big picture here, moisture being transported into North Texas, and that's resulting in those morning low clouds and some of that drizzle that we're seeing. But there is some clearing going on, and it looks like that'll sort of work its way into our area a little bit later this afternoon. And temperatures eventually making their way up into the mid-80s. We're going with 86 here in town, some 90s down to the south, places that see a little bit more sun. And we mentioned those rain chances. They start to pop up as we get into Sunday night and especially on Monday. We'll talk more about our chances for showers and storms and how long that lasts coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
It's good.
What a night for, speaking of looking good, what a night for San Antonio FC against Austin of the MLS. Big night in front of the home fans. Lyra Mears with more highlights and more reactions from the big win coming up.
A popular breakfast cereal might be making folks sick. What's prompting the FDA to launch an investigation into Lucky Charms after the break? The Food and Drug Administration investigating Lucky Charms cereal after reports of people getting sick. The move comes after the popular online poison website reported that it has had more than 1,300 people say they had gastrointestinal issues after eating Lucky Charms. The FDA says it has received only a few complaints about people getting sick after eating the cereal directly. The agency, though, starting an inspection of cereal production sites. It has not announced a recall. The company that makes Lucky Charms, General Mills, says it has found no evidence of people getting sick from eating their cereal.
In honor of Queen Elizabeth II's 96th birthday, which is today, Mattel has made one of the Barbie dolls in her likeness. The doll even wears a blue ribbon that features her decorations of order, and the tiara on the doll is based on the one the real Queen wore on the day she married Prince Philip. Elizabeth is the longest reigning British leader. The doll is part of Barbie's tribute series, which started last year, and its first one was of actress Lucille Ball.
And speaking of actors, Nicolas Cage says portraying himself was one of the most challenging movie roles he's ever done.
CNN's Rick Damigella has more on that role.
What's the worry here, Nick? You've lost some of your talent as an actor?
No. Nicolas Cage stars as a stylized version of Nicolas Cage in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
I'm not sure I understand.
Look, it's Javi.
I am Javi.
Nick Cage.
I have to say, there was no muscle in my body that told me I should play a character named Nick Cage in a movie. I had the challenge for me of not embarrassing my family and also facilitating Tom Gormican, the director's vision of so-called Nick Cage, which was a highly neurotic / anxiety-filled Nick Cage.
You can't quit acting, you can't!
That's none of your business.
Whether you like it or not, you have a gift. And that gift brings light and joy to an increasingly dark and broken world.
The Mandalorian star Pedro Pascal plays an obsessed superfan who hires Cage to attend his birthday.
I think I had the easiest job out of everybody. And ironically,
the role of Javi Gutierrez could be closer to me than the role of Nick Cage is to Nicolas Cage in a way.
Are you dying, Dad?
Yes,
Oh my God.
What?
creatively.
Oh, come on.
No, physically he is tremendous.
This is my first movie, and so to be able to set the bar this high, it's going to be a tough act to follow. It was amazing. Nick is like the loveliest. He's so paternal, especially with me, and he was amazing. He was a great source of comfort for me, and also just someone who I really learned a lot from about acting and about movies in general.
You are a faster runner than me. I saw how fast you were in National Treasure. No, that'd be the stunt department. Not according to the making of featurette.
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Wait.
What's the worry?
What's the worry? That's strange.
I think we're officially running out of movie ideas.
Well, what there was being John Malkovich. That
Yes.
was one that
Yeah.
John Malkovich played himself, and then I think Matt LeBlanc played himself in a
I think so.
comedy series, and that was hugely successful.
Yeah, it does look kind of funny, actually, now that you listen to it. So we'll see. We'll go outside for you live. We've got cloudy skies right now, 75 degrees so far. The high temperature, 72 the low. Notice there's not much difference between the high and the low, and that's due in large part to that cloud cover. It will break up some this afternoon. The record high is 94. That was set back in 1995, not in jeopardy today, but we will make it likely above average by this afternoon. Another look at the weekend forecast, plus a look ahead to next week, which includes those rain chances coming up.
When's the last time we said gully washer or frog strangler?
It's been too long.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
But we really don't like it when it's a frog strangler.
We might like it Monday.
We just want some decent rain.
We do.
Decent.
Just some nice light rain
Yeah.
that maybe adds up to about half an inch or so. That would be ideal. There is the chance for that. We may get a couple of storms along with it too, but it's not looking like a widespread severe event. So there's that. And it does not look like an event in which we would see a ton of flooding. So really the news is good, and we'll get there in just a second. First, we got to look at what's going on today. We've got some light showers out there, very, very light stuff that's moving south to north. You can see some of these very light returns around Livonia. We had a patch of showers move through San Antonio. That's lifting north. So now we're just left with cloudy skies once again. But there are a few wet roads out there, and I'm still seeing a few drops there on some of the TransGuide cameras. So it is kind of damp at the moment. At the airport, we've picked up 2.65 inches of rain. We're still about 5 inches below the average for the year. Del Rio did get a little bit of rain earlier this week, which was fantastic, but still about 3 inches below average there. Austin is just a little bit above average. They've almost picked up 10 inches of rain for the year. Right now, we've got cloudy skies and 75 degrees at the airport. Dew point is at 72. That is very thick humidity with southeasterly winds at 14 and a little bit gusty. 81 Uvalde, 83 Cotulla, 70s for places like New Braunfels, Austin, Kerrville, and Fredericksburg, where the cloud cover's a little bit thicker. 72 Bernie Stage, that continues to be one of the cool spots along with Canyon Lake. 80 at Stinson, though, 81 down there at Pleasanton. And the dew point tracker, yeah, it's going to be humid through, I'd say, about Sunday. Monday does still show a high dew point, but I think it starts to fall off during the day on Monday. By the time we get into Tuesday, we'll see some lower dew points, and that's because we get a front. And this front means everything to our forecast. Forecast for today, 82, mostly cloudy at 2 o'clock. 86 by 5 p.m., 85, 6 o'clock. We'll call it mostly cloudy to partly cloudy this afternoon with those winds anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. And the winds actually pick up some, I think, during the evening. So be prepared for gusts 20 to 25 if you're going to be out and about. There's a look at the cloud cover. And yeah, we're starting to see some breaks in places like Medina County, out towards Del Rio, a few peaks of sun here and there. And it's a slow process, but you'll see these clouds break up just a little bit more as we get into the afternoon hours. And these clouds spread all the way into parts of Oklahoma and Arkansas as moisture is just surging in here. Dew points, as we showed you, in the 70s. And that is out ahead of our next storm system, which is going to take some time to get here. So heat and humidity stick with us through Sunday. We got about 4 days of this same kind of weather pattern. But by late Sunday, here comes that frontal boundary, 20% chance of showers and storms late. And if we're going to see some strong storms, I think this is sort of our window, late Sunday night, maybe into early Monday as this front comes in. And then once the front pushes through, we'll get some light showers and maybe a few thunderstorms behind it, but a 60% chance of rain. And we're hoping that this is good, steady rain for us. And then Tuesday morning, still a few lingering showers and cloud cover. As far as rainfall potential, well, we think that the bigger totals at this point are actually going to be out west. So maybe 3/4 of an inch up to an inch in some spots, 1/2 inch, maybe around the San Antonio area. And it will be a little bit lower, that rainfall, as you go east of town. But all in all, it should be a decent event for us. 88 degrees Friday, 87 Saturday, 88 Sunday. So that's the heat and humidity we've been talking about. But then the changes arrive Monday. Monday looks to be an overcast, sort of wet day. 77, 78 Tuesday, and we're back in the 80s by Wednesday. We'll be right back.
That was an incredibly close match, a difficult match, and just proud of the collective.
Ellen Marcina and his SAFC side are the talk of San Antonio and big board sports. In front of a season-high 7,922 fans at Toyota Field, San Antonio FC beat Austin FC 2-1 in extra time last night in the third round of the U.S. Open Cup. Elliot Collier got SAFC on the board in the 82nd minute, tying the match at 1. And then Carter Manley put the home side on top for good with a goal in the 96th minute. Austin scored first in the 47th minute, but that did not deter San Antonio FC. They kept battling and fighting before finally breaking through in extra time to seal the deal.
Incredibly proud of the collective. They were incredibly cohesive, ultra competitive, most definitely resilient. We speak of being mentality monsters, and they demonstrated that tonight. We got to do it in front of our fans, our home, an amazing atmosphere. And it was a show, because Austin did fantastic as well. They're a great team. There's a reason why they're one of the best teams in the MLS.
Cup sets have happened before, and going into this, we knew it was a great opportunity to show our skills and our skill sets and everything that Tim Holt and Alan Marcina have been building the last couple of years here. It's something special, and we finally got the opportunity to showcase the fruits of our labor over these years against an MLS opponent, and a really good MLS opponent as well. It was great for the club and great for the city.
SAFC will play Houston Dynamo in the next round of the U.S. Open Cup. Time and date to be determined. Now the guys will return to USL Championship play this Saturday night at 8 when they play at New Mexico United. Philadelphia big man Joel Embiid and the Sixers are now 1-1 away from sweeping the Toronto Raptors. Game 3 last night at overtime. Inbound pass goes to Embiid, and he buries a three with 0.8 of a second left in OT. He made 3 of his 8 3-point attempts, and that was the biggest one of them all. Sixers win in Toronto 104-101 in overtime, taking a 3-0 series lead. Philly will look to close out the series Saturday afternoon at 1. And 2 more final scores from last night. Celtics beat the Nets 114-107. They lead that series 2-0. And the Bulls defeated the Bucks 114-100, tying that series at 1-1. 114-110, I should say. Los Angeles Angels superstar Shohei Ohtani dominated the Astros at Minute Maid Park yesterday. He went 6 innings, allowing 1 hit with 12 strikeouts. Dude had a perfect game through 5. At the dish, he went 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in. And the Angels shut out the Astros 6-0. And the Texas Rangers lost at the Mariners 4-2. In Texas League Baseball, the Missions lost at the Sod Poodles 7-4, suffering their 8th straight loss. And the Sod Poodles again. The Bryce Wisdom Foundation is calling on you to give blood in memory of Bryce. It goes down Tuesday, April 26th from noon to 7 p.m. at Judson High School Auxiliary Gym. Registration is required. The website is on the screen. Come and join this cause. Give blood, save a life.
What is a sod poodle? Just curious.
Is that one of those little dudes like in the dirt out there, the little gopher-looking things? I don't know what it's called. What's it called, Justin?
It's an animal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
kind of like a groundhog. Yeah,
Oh.
I don't think that's actually a groundhog, but it's something similar.
Never heard of that.
That can't be good to lose to them either.
You all have them out in tech, don't you?
No, they're not called
prairie
sod
dogs.
poodles. Prairie dogs.
Prairie dog.
Prairie dogs. Yeah, they're everywhere out there. Love them. Yeah. But
We
we don't call them
learned
sod
something
poodles.
new.
What are we talking about? The sod poodles?
Yes.
Just Google it. Look it up. I'm sure you can find a picture out there. So, hey, we got a bunch coming up on the show today. And the Children's Ballet of San Antonio is here. They are so talented. They are going to give us a performance from their version of Aladdin. You've all seen the movie. Oh, this is so much better. 200 dancers on stage at the Majestic. It is going to be absolutely wonderful. All right, Mother's Day is not too far away, and Jen is checking out some really good food.
Yes, we're here at Clementine Restaurant, one of the favorites in San Antonio. Chef John Rest joins me, and we're making today what exactly?
This is just our simple mushroom salad. It's, to me, one of the best things in the world, and I think just every now and then we need to remind ourselves why we eat our vegetables and why they're sometimes healthy.
And you told me even if you don't like mushrooms, you're gonna like this salad. There's a reason.
Most people hate this salad before they get it, and then they put that first bite in their mouths, and they are just changed for life.
Okay, we're gonna explain the ingredient that complements the mushrooms, that and some tips as well if you're cooking with mushrooms. Mike, back to you.
Thank you. And of course, tomorrow's Earth Day, and Children's Lighthouse out there in Helotes has some really great projects, and Miss Shanna is here. And so, what are you teaching the kids with all this?
So we are using household items, teaching the kids to use their creativity to make things that they can use, reuse, and to use outside.
Okay, so we're making bird feeders out of milk cartons, and we've got a great assistant helping us out as well. Plus, social question, if you could be a star of a Disney cartoon, who would it be? That and a whole lot more coming up on SA Live.
Right now on KSAT.com, a popular course at UTSA examining the life and the career of Selena Quintanilla, now returning for the summer semester.
And anyone can enroll in the course, whether they're a student or not. The virtual course will be held from 6 to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday from May 31st through July 5th. The course is available for audit. For instructions on how to do that, all you got to do is go to KSAT.com.
Still cloudy, 76 degrees at the moment. Once we get some sun, that should push temperatures into the 80s. Windy, cloudy mornings, some drizzle leading to some partly cloudy afternoons. Heat and humidity all the way through Sunday, but it does change Monday in a good way. 60% chance of showers and storms on Monday, cooler, and we'll see that sort of linger over into Tuesday morning as well, guys.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you for watching the news at noon with us.
Did you Google sod poodle?
A sod poodle is a prairie dog, and it was named that or nicknamed that because they figured it would cause a ruckus.
A ruckus. Mike causes ruckuses every now and then. SA Live starts right
now.
Today on SA Live, I hope you're hungry because we get a bit of a James Beard Foundation semifinalist seasonal menu. Oh, that looks good. Plus, where your kids can learn fun Earth Day crafts that will help the environment. And it is a sustainable fashion show just in time for Earth Day that benefits a lot of very good causes.
Celebrate San Antonio. Coming to you live from historic Market Square. This is SA Live.
Hello and happy Thursday. Oh my goodness gracious. These are some of the wonderful dancers from the Children's Ballet of San Antonio doing their version of Aladdin. We're going to be seeing more of that in just a couple of moments. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mike Osterhage. Fiona is off today, and I think someone found a magic lamp and rubbed it because the genie has a very special wish for us. Our first guests have unbelievable talent. The Children's Ballet of San Antonio is here with the new show, Aladdin and the Wonderful Lamp. And joining us to talk about the show is our dear friend, Vanessa Bessler, founder and artistic director of the Children's Ballet. So good to see you.
So good to see you, Mike.
Okay, everybody has seen the movie Aladdin, but this is something different. What can folks expect?
Yes, we are so excited to be back at the Majestic Theater, the amazing Majestic Theater, with the Aladdin and the Wonderful Lamp. We're going to have more than 200 artists on stage, bringing you in a magic carpet ride to Agrabah, and they are going to just send you in a dream with your most magical characters, from Jasmine to Aladdin to the genie and our wonderful and beloved Abu, along with other wonderful characters that you will see.
And there's a little something special that's been done just for the Children's Ballet as far as incorporating artists from the land of Aladdin, right?
Yes. If you think you had seen it all for the Children's Ballet, just wait, because this is going to be our largest production ever. There are elements like bigger than life-size props, multimedia integrated, digital backdrops, and many amazing elements that are going to take your imagination to the wonderful land of Aladdin. But we had made sure to integrate a wonderful cultural element and we had invited incredible choreographers. We are so lucky to have Miss Karen Barber Atkinson, which is specialized in dances from the land of Aladdin, and she had done some special regional choreographies, as well as the music. Some of the tracks had been, the scores had been especially created for this production by amazing international acclaim Gabriel Noah, with expertise on the land of Aladdin music.
And you said children's ballet, which is just, I mean, the talent is unbelievable. Kids from 3 to 19?
3 to 19-year-olds, and we are so proud and honored to work with these dancers. I'm extremely proud of what the children's ballet had done in these 7 years, launching so many local San Antonio artists, prepared them for international career in the arts and launched to many international places. And this year is not any different. Some of these artists, this is going to be the last bow because they are launching with invitations to the most amazing and recognized companies in the world.
Okay.
So there is a great mix of talent, from the cutest to the...
Aladdin and the Wonderful Lamp is going to be at the Majestic Theater May 6th through the 7th, 7 to 9 p.m., and then May 7th, 2 to 4 p.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. And without further ado, let's get a performance from Aladdin and the Wonderful Lamp. That is the Children's Ballet of San Antonio's version of Aladdin. It's going to be going on in just a couple of weekends. And for more information on the Children's Ballet and their performances, head on over to As Seen on SA Live tab, and we have provided a link, or you can just scan that QR code right there at the corner of your screen. Oh my goodness gracious, they are absolutely beautiful. It's going to be a wonderful performance there. More than 200 performing artists on the majestic stage. Okay. After seeing Aladdin, and you know, we've all seen the Disney cartoon, the movie, if you could be a character from one of the Disney movies, who would it be? Would it be a princess? Would it be a dancer? Would it be Aladdin? Would it be the genie? Who would it be? Maybe Sleeping Beauty. Let us know, and we hope to have some of the answers coming up a little bit later on. Okay, our Jen Tobias-Drusky, who of course would be the Princess of Kindness, I think, if she were to be a character, is getting a taste of James Beard Foundation semifinalists' spring menu right now. And would it be an understatement to say I'm a little bit jealous? Yes, because that looks so delicious. What's on the menu, Jen?
I thought so, Mike. Hey, I would go with Princess and the Frog, by the way. That's my favorite Disney movie. But we're here at Clementine, and speaking of New Orleans, right? Chef John is from there. And seasonal menu now. What's on the menu right now?
All kinds of fun things. Just working on keeping everything kind of fresh, working into the season. We've got some beautiful morel mushrooms coming in today. I've got some frog legs coming in tomorrow. But today's focus is a mushroom salad that we've been doing every day here for the last 5 years.
Okay, since the beginning.
Even in COVID, when it was like to go only, like this is it.
Okay.
Because it's such a simple salad, it's such a simple space in life. Textures are great, flavors are great. The combination of the lemon juice and the olive oil and the cheese all kind of make it very simple and has a lot of that umami flavor because of those ingredients. And just the pomegranates give it a little bit of texture. So it's not just eating a bunch of mushrooms. There's more to it, but it's still pretty simple.
All right, well, you're going to show us how it's done.
When you buy your mushrooms, try and buy them when they're nice and firm, when they still have like a nice feel to it. I always take the bottoms off so I can cut them a little bit more easily and a little bit more uniformly without also cutting my fingers.
Yes.
Because that is a space you don't want to be in. No one wants to have a vegetarian salad turned not vegetarian on accident.
But mushrooms, I mean, something anybody can really make this at home if they wanted to maybe switch it out and try something different, right?
Yes, absolutely. You know, like when I was a kid, my mom would make this salad for us because it was just, it's a simple vegetable salad, lots of great flavors, lots of great nutrients, relatively inexpensive, and it's a great way to introduce mushrooms to your family.
Yes.
And growing them in the right way. And so we've got the mushrooms, we've got some pomegranates and some parsley, we've got some radishes and some red onions, and we're going to squeeze a little bit of lemon juice into here, and not a huge amount, but like, you know, enough to give it some zest.
I'm taking notes here because this looks so refreshing.
And just easy, like this is ridiculously easy, right?
Yes.
Some olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, because you got to have balance, right?
Yes.
And then, just like as simply as that, like just tossing it together, and just trying to be delicate so you don't mess all the mushrooms up and break them and bruise them, because you still want like all that texture.
You mentioned to me it's important not to overcook, right? That's something that people can do sometimes is
you know, with mushrooms, they're not the cheapest things in the supermarket anymore for whatever reason. And so if you're going to buy them and you're going to deal with them, you want to still have like the flavor and the texture of the mushrooms. And mushrooms done really, really poorly, like I'm sure most moms have done at some point in life. Like,
what are you saying? How'd you know?
Hey, let's be real. Like moms and dads who are dealing with young kids, trying to cook and get food on the table, dealing with homework and all the other stuff. Like I'm feeling it. But it's like, just keep it fresh, keep it simple. Don't cook it too hard. Don't cook it too much. And then, you know, when all else fails,
perfect.
Cover it with a little bit of cheese.
So you're going to finish this off. Again, the spring menu now, and your hours are their dinner hours. We'll talk a little bit more about your James Beard Semi-Finalist Award in the second half of the show, and we'll explain more what that is as well. While I'm going to taste and toss this back to Mike. Yes, I'll cook this one actually. All right.
I'm going to eat out of here
because
it's lunchtime.
Mike, back to you.
That looks so simple, yet it looks so good. How's it taste?
Right?
Yeah, okay, I'm not going to make you talk with your mouth full. Thank you very much, Jen. And if you'd like more information on Clementine, great restaurant, real nice, cozy little place right there. Head on over to SALive.com, click on the Ad Scene on SA Live tab, or of course, just scan that QR code right there at the bottom of the screen. Okay, still ahead is a sustainable fashion show featuring local designers and models that's also benefiting good causes and taking care of our planet. Plus, Earth Day crafts from the Children's Lighthouse, where kids like this little beauty are learning constructive crafts that can also help the environment.